The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the January 3rd, 2022 edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, well, it means we can find a gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, that's this. During this next 60 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on into 877-927-6648. If you can't dial it, we've got you covered there too. Let those fingers do the walking. Go ahead, send me an email. Send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Send it early. And inside that subject heading, if you would be kind enough to put radio show question, of course, in our Tigers Den. Well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on magical, magnificent Monday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, I've got a mixed bag out here. That mixed bag has the Dow, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, and semis trading the upside, while the transports are down a little over 1% or 200 points. You've got gold back $29. She's trading at $17.99. Silver trading at $22.84. That's down 51 cents. Lights Recruit is up $1, trading at $76.14. Natural gas off a couple of pennies. The 30-year Treasury down 2.5 points out here. She's trading at $158. Even Steven. Lead the charge dollar-wise the upside. 119 points is Tesla, trading out $11.76. Amazon $62 the upside. Booking Holdings 42. First Citizens Bank shares up 37, nearly 5%. Goldman Sachs $15, 4%. To the downside, it is Chipotle of $65, 3.7%. HubSpot down 51, nearly 8%. God is off $52 or nearly 10%. IDEX Labs $32, 5%. Mercado Libre down $31, a little over 2% to the downside. Now, let's do this. Hopefully everybody had a great, happy New Year's out there. Good to be back with you, although I would have preferred a day off, not just a Saturday and Sunday. But we are back at work here. And so let's just begin. There's not really much in the way of changes. What I mean by changes, if we take a look at the equity future contracts and their TAS market profiles. So at this stage here, we have a sell the D point pattern, although it's suspect because whenever you make more than a 0.786 retracement, and that's what we did here on this B to C leg, it's really not such a good A to B equals CD pattern. But we still have it marked out there, and only a close above 47.9975 would negate that signal. And the ES Mini price above the top of its daily and weekly profiles, so its signal right now is fairly muted, or maybe it's more neutral than it is bearish. In the case of the NASDAQ still has not taken out its Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That's at the 16,769 level, but price is still trading inside the November 22nd swing point. Price would have to close below 16,366 today to reject that. As long as price is inside there, price may be targeting the high. If we take a look at the Dow, now the Dow did close above the top of its weekly profile for one consecutive session. That was it. That was at the 36,354, but still that close above 36,354 negated its sell signal. So we're waiting for the Dow Equity Future contract to put together some type of sell signal out there to identify that at least we have the January top that is pretty typical this time of the year. The Russell 2000, it's trading up 12 points. It may be targeting the top of its weekly profile. It's above the daily, so its potential target out here is 2314 and a little bit of change out there. Mr. Bill wants to take a look at the natural gas contract for the next several months. So we'll go switch over. We'll take a look at those for him. Mr. Bill trying to sniff out a bottom out here. So let's put up natural gas. Give me a moment to get to it here. Should be this next tab. There we go, natural gas. So here are the futures contracts that you're looking for. And right now, if we take a look at the February contract is still pretty much the active contract here. Mr. Bill, you need to close above 398. That happens to be the gap to the downside, or the low of that gap to the downside. That's the December 2nd low. So if we go to the next contract out here, let's find out what that level is that price needs to get below. But forget the word perigee that's out there. But it's $3.84. Let me just, I'll leave this out here, but let me get rid of that signal. Give me a moment here to do this. Just a little housekeeping, folks, while we try to clean that up. There we go. So it's 384 that you'd be looking for a close there. If you look at the April contract out here, what do we have? We don't have as clear of a signal with regard to April out here, Mr. Bill, but let's just spend time with the March and the February contract, and you can see the clear resistance, those gaps to the downside out there. The other thing that would be nice is there is a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that was triggered. That was triggered with the low that formed, I believe that was on December 23rd. So if you could get a bullish reversal candle, and that would apply, I would believe, that would apply to the March contract as well. Then that would be the signal that there may be a bottom, but you still have those battlegrounds at 398 and at 384. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request and getting us kicked off for 2022. John in the Tiger's Den says, Steve, on the ESH, besides 47.43, so let me get back to the ES charts out here. In fact, what we'll do is, if you give me a moment, we'll put up the quad charts for the ES Mini. So I'm going to finish reading the question. So besides 47.43, 47.43, 47.33, maybe, but you're referring to, the high on November 22nd. All right. So besides that high number, what support lurks just under price for the ES Mini must break to unleash selling to the downside? So let's see here. Let me change to a different set of white background charts. I'm going to keep the black background charts. I just want to pull these up to see if I can most easily. So right now, John, and I'll just pull this chart over. So in the ES Mini, we know price is trading above the top of its daily profile, and it's above the top of its weekly profile. I'm going to get rid of that A to B equals CD pattern out there. So that's what we know so far. Your question specifically is what levels need to be broken to suggest that there is movement to the downside. So the question becomes how large a movement are we talking about? But here, still, we take a look at the profiles for the ES Mini. They're above the top of the daily, weekly, monthly, quarter. They're above everything. And what the ES Mini did today, John, it's pulled back and it's tested and so far rejected that green oscillator and change line. That's at 47.53. So that is going to be the very first level that we would need to see the ES Mini close below to suggest at least a further retracement. Now, that further retracement says you go back and you take a look at where are those profile levels. In the case of the daily, they're at 47.09, 46.42. And I would say if price can get below 46.42, John, then we're headed back to 45.29. That's what I see when I take a look at least the daily time frame, kind of a short period. The weekly would say it closed below 44.96.50. Things get rocking and rolling to the downside. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's up 87, S&P 12. Let's see, who was it? Jimmy D in the den asked a great question. He says, Steve, is today's a can't bust them down, so watch out for markets trying to bust them to the upside. So I put up here, what we have are the daily time frame charts here, Jimmy, for the ES, the NQ, the YM, Russell 2000. I just pulling back to test the oscillator and change line, which is what we have inside the ES. It's really what we have inside the NQ. The Dow hasn't made its way down there, nor has the Russell. That's really not the bust them down area that I would use for that statement to be correct. I'd really be looking for either breakout support. In the case of the ES Mini, you're looking at 45.37. The NQ, you're looking at, we haven't even been able to get down there, 15.510. Those would be the levels, and really the bust them down levels to really be looking at, Jimmy. Let's just make it really simple out here. And to make it really simple, all we're going to do is just move over to this black background chart. Give me a moment here to share that screen with you. The real bust them down levels are the bottom of these weekly profiles, and it's really the chart on the very right-hand side where you can see it. So I just have the bottom of the profiles for the weekly time frame. And so as we take a look at this out here, those would be the levels that I would say are more apropos to if you can't bust them down, you're going to try to bust them to the upside. So I hope that makes sense to you, and just simply the logic when we take a look at how the market responded most certainly during 2021. We'll see if that pattern continues into 2022. Question here again from John in the Tiger's Den. ES Mini daily chart, butterfly to top last week, still a possibility. Well, let's go take a look at the ES Mini. So in order to have a valid butterfly pattern, let's do this here. Do I want to do this here? No, let's do it here. Okay, and I'm just going to expand this out. So in order to have a valid butterfly pattern, you need to have an A to B equals CD, right? So, well, I say right. You might not say right. So let's go take a look at this. So here's a potential A to B equals CD pattern. Your A point down here, December 3rd. The B point out here, December 16th. And the C point, which Stevie's kind of suspect about, that retracement into December 20th. That was an 86% retracement. 86% retracement. So Look, technically speaking, I suppose it's an A to B equals CD, but if you really follow the true rules of the A to B equals CD pattern, not so much. But you do have that bearish reversal candle. That's a bearish reversal candle that took place on the trading day of December 30th. So the first element of this, John, has been met. The second element is an expansion of a set of swing points, and typically it would be the 1.272 expansion. So for that, what we would do, let's get that expansion tool out here. That expansion tool, I believe right now it's set to retracement. We'll go ahead and reset this, set that to Fibonacci expansion. So I'd be looking at the swing point from November 22nd down to the low on December the 3rd. And voila, you're at the 1.272. So the answer to your question is absolutely. I see the butterfly top pattern that you're looking at. It meets the requirements that we're looking at without having to force anything. An expansion between swing points, the A to B equals CD pattern, and a bearish reversal candle. So yes, we see that out there. So, but what price has been able to do, as we discussed earlier, has not been able to close below that green oscillator and change line. So therefore, I would say the signal is somewhat muted. The other thing that we should do, just curious with regard to a volume metrics out here, let's go take a look at the SPY. We're trading into that same swing point today. That same swing point had volume of 55 million shares. And John, you are at 33 million shares right now. So we're 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:31, about 4 hours in. We're going to be very similar type volumes, or it appears that we will be at a very similar volume, maybe even more, as prices pushing into that swing point. So I would say that if the ES Mini closes above the SPY, thank you, closes above 475.67, and we're 476.02 today, and it appears we're pushing that swing point with volume. That says that at least that high gets tested. No idea whether it gets taken out, but yes, you've got the butterfly. Is it confirmed that we're headed to the downside? So far, key levels of support have held, so I could not reach that conclusion. It might be the case, but I can't reach that conclusion, so that's not the conclusion that I will draw. So I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for that question as well. Now, on Friday, there were so many. First, thank you for each of you that sent emails. Much appreciated out there with not having any day off, so to speak. As soon as that show was over for me, I shut things down. I did a bunch of work for subscribers over the weekend and sent them a bunch of information so I could get a feel for multiple different types of all the commodities, currency pairs, the indices out here, and in essence, what our strategy is, at least at this stage of the game, for those types of instruments out here. But I didn't get to all of the questions that had come in on Friday. That always bothers me a little bit, because if you take the time to write in, I would like to take the time to answer those questions. So we're going to do that here right now, unless we get a caller, because we do have call-ahead seating. But the first question, or not the first question, but the first, from a time standpoint question, and apologize that we didn't get to this on Friday, was, and I don't recall who, it might have been JT, I believe, that was asking about Nordic American tankers. And the question was, did more Nordic American tankers bottom on Friday? Well, if one would take a look at it and say, well, gee, Steve-O, the answer would be yes, because take a look at this wide-ranging bar with volume today. But let's go take a look at the Nordic American tankers charts out here. So as I pull over the daily time frame out here, the daily time frame shows what? It shows wave number 7. That is the bottom that is in place out here. Price right now, I believe, is above the top of its daily profile, and that suggests that we should see Nordic American tankers head its way up to the $2 even Steven level. Now, JT, $2 is where the sellers are lurking, and if price can close above that, then you're looking at a move to $2.40. That is, so are you asking, is there a bottom signal? The answer is yes. That would be wave number 7. If I look at the weekly time frame chart, you have a TD9 count bottom. So this says this could be a significant low inside of Nordic American tankers. The key to that would be a close above $1.94. $1.94 is the center of its bullish structured profile. We saw 3 consecutive weeks below that level, so we don't know. So we know we've got resistance at $1.94 and $2. And if price can close above $2, we're looking at $2.10 and then $2.43. But you do like the signal you've got on the daily and the weekly, and it does suggest that Nordic American tankers has made a bottom. On a monthly time frame, we don't have a signal, but way back in the September of 2020 time frame, I don't believe. Well, I don't want to say I don't believe that low was a buck. Whoops, $1.66. Did we get below that low? We did not. We only tested $1.65. So now you've got a swing point on a monthly basis that was tested and rejected. Let's go see what the volume was on that swing point. So this would be the third time's a charm out here. So the volume on that swing point was 31 million shares. Tested and rejected, that was 65 million shares. So, when you test it and reject it with volume as it did, we may get back down and test that level. So what would you do out here? If you did take the long position, JT, then stay long out here. I mean, price above the top of that daily profile. You got to watch 194 to $2 range. If we get a retracement here, that might be nice for an entry into it for everybody else that is listening in on the show. But being so close to that $1.94 level, where that counter trend rally could end, if this is just a counter trend rally, I couldn't suggest that everybody listening or anybody listening take a trade right now in Nordic American tankers. But it does have a nice bottom on the daily and the weekly time frame. So JT, thanks so much for waiting the weekend on that. We come back when you take a look at FTK, URA, and the SMHs for Hector and Patty, our fuel injectors. We'll be right back.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back up, folks. So we're going to take a look at Flowtech Industries. FTK is a ticker symbol. Trade out at $1.09, moved nicely above the top of its daily profile about 4 days ago. We can see where the resistance level is at, right at the top of the weekly, 127. Yes, price got above that, but it didn't close above that area. So the battleground for Flowtech Industries is clearly $1.27. Let's pull over the white background charts out here, see what other kind of signals we have. So when it did make a bottom back on the trading day of December 22nd, it was bar number 9 of a TD9 count, had a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal triggered, had a 7th wave move signal triggered, and the very next day gapped up, ran right into resistance, the TD9 breakdown level at 80 cents. Price closed very much right above that the very next day. This next TD9 breakdown level is also an area of resistance at $1.22. So you do have a nice bottom out here. In this case, we could see price pull back to the 98 cents, 84 to 98 cent level. That's a possibility. On a weekly time frame chart, you also have wave number 7. That now appears, well, we don't know if it's going to be confirmed until the end of the week out there, but $1.44 is going to be your next resistance level. That's above the $1.27. So resistance really on a weekly basis between $1.27 and $1.44. The monthly time frame for Flowtech, what does this show us? Not much, so we can't use that. But the daily and weekly look very good out here for Flowtech. It's just taking on the battleground area. And you can see that on the daily and the weekly time frame. So thanks for holding off weekend on that. I believe that was for Brent in Martinez, California. Lee wanted to take a look at uranium. URA is a ticker symbol out here. So let's go ahead and pull up. So let's put up the correct symbol. That'll make it easier for both you and me. This is the so in the case of uranium, price right now running right. It's just consolidating with, well, actually, when I take a look at this chart here, I'm going to get rid of the A to B equals CD pattern, even though it does have a confirmed by the D point. It did that with this hammer candle right here on December 20th. So each of us can see that. So it's got the valid bottom. What did price do after that? Ran all the way up to the top of its daily profile, or close to it. It got up on December 28th to a high of 25.65, the top of the box 25.85. But then what happened? Price was not able to bust at the upside, pulled back to test support. So what I see out here in the uranium, Lee, is nothing more than consolidation. That consolidation looks like this. Basically, here's the top of the consolidation, here's the bottom of the consolidation, and that's all that I see in URA. Now let's pull over the other charts, because maybe the charts will say, hey, Steve-O, you missed this. What did I miss? Well, let's get to the daily time frame. The daily time frame is going to show us what? That's going to show us wave number 7 as well, in addition to that A to B equals CD pattern. Okay, great. Price running resistance at the center of the profile. But you do have that bottom. We already identified that bottom just with the black background charts. I don't have a bottoming signal on the monthly time frame. I'm sorry, the weekly time frame. The monthly time frame, I don't have a topping signal. I do have a bottom. That was back in March of 2020 out there. So with regard to uranium, I'm going to have to go with the consolidation pattern. That's the one that shows up on the daily time frame out here. If price can bust them up to the upside, meaning take out that consolidation pattern, then you'd have a measured move that would be equal to or greater than that consolidation. And that is what we're taking a look at when you take a look at uranium. Ticker symbol there is URA. The last request that came in during the, this was on Friday, the last request in 2021 came from Hector and Patty. And Hector wanted to take a look at the SMHs. So Hector is looking, I believe he's looking at this large A to B equals CD pattern on the weekly time frame. The A point out here is a low from back in March 16, 2020. The B point out here is a trading session of February 15th of 2021. And then you have about a 4-week pullback into March 8th, 2021. The B point had volume of 14 million shares. It was passed with volume, 18 million shares on August 23rd, bigger volume on November the 1st out there. So you do have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside, 378.73. However, Hector, we can't just say that's the only pattern and just simply ignore everything else that's out there. Now, on a weekly basis, we do see price consolidated with inside its profile. So if price can close above 318.82, presumably a run up to the 378 level would be in order. But we're not going to stop there. What we're going to do is we're going to pull over the SMH charts, the daily, weekly, and monthly, and really get a feel, and yearly, and get a feel for what its signals are. So on a daily basis, Hector, you have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top that's in place from November 22nd. Price must close above that high, 318.82, in order to suggest something other than, in order to generate that bullish message that you're looking for. We don't have that, not yet, so I would be watching that. So the daily has a top. It's led to a sideways consolidation. The weekly has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top as well, push price back to the support level at the bottom of the weekly profile. But still, you just have this consolidation out here, so no confirmed estimate. You've got a valid top on the daily, a valid top on the weekly. Let's go check out the monthly. The monthly chart has a TD9 count top. You have a valid top inside the monthly. So for all three of those time frames inside the semiconductor index, you have valid tops. The yearly basis has a valid top too. And that's going to be the bar following bar number 9 of a TD9 count. So it's pretty cool here. Is that A to B equals C to the upside going to come to fruition? Well, one thing we do know is if the highs from November 22nd get taken out, Hector and Patty, then the answer is, yeah, price should go ahead and run higher, maybe make that run to the A to B equals CD level. But otherwise, I would say just be careful. Certainly, if you're long here, I don't have real great reasons, no key levels of support have broken, to tell you to exit. I just say you've got to be careful because if the SMHs are topping, and they certainly have provided you and I with those signals out here, well, then the rest of the market is likely topping too. So even though there's a valid A to B equals CD, we have to also see what other signals are present. And now when we look at those 4 time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly, it just says time to be cautious, especially as we enter the unfavorable seasonal cycle for at least 3 weeks. Now, that unfavorable period doesn't begin today. It typically begins on Thursday of this week, but we won't hold it to the day. But to see today's activity, really nothing unusual, just kind of normal out there. So hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for writing in. Now what Stevie needs to do is get back and take a look at what questions have come in by email. First one here from Eddie. And Eddie is saying, what do you make of the market's action today? Well, I think I kind of covered that, but not much. It's just normal. It's just normal. If we take a look at the seasonal cycle, which I'll do during the segment that I do with Tom. I'm not going to go ahead and open that up now. Most of you are familiar with that chart. So today's activity is just kind of normal. Your question goes, in other words, it feels to me like there is no commitment to the upside and more of window dressing buying. So no commitment to the upside. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple has a PL, has got a topping pattern in play. Price is trading into that swing point. That's a swing point from the trading day of December 13th. That had volume of 153 million shares. You're above that high right now and above the top of its daily profile, albeit on light volume, but you're taking out resistance. Or you may be taking up resistance. Really, Eddie, it'll all be about today's close. If Apple closes back below 182.13, then you'll have a rejection of a swing point with what looks like lighter volume for the daily time frame. If not, then in the case of Apple, which has a confirmed A to B equals C to the upside, that would be signaling to you and I that it's going to go ahead or should go ahead and make a run to the 190.49 level out there. So, Eddie, just really depends what it is that we're going to take a look at. But Apple being a key stock out here, it's trying to take out resistance. That says we could head higher. And while that NQ goes and tests its high. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Folks, let's move on to our next question, the only question I see so far, and this is from Peter. And Peter says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. Can you analyze a 30-year bond profile, TD9 counts, and so forth? Absolutely. So here we've got the 30-year Treasury up. We've got our daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly set of profiles. So what do we know? We know there's an A to B equals CD to the downside, and I'm looking at the daily time frame. And we also know his price right now is testing support. Let me get rid of the trend line support out here on the weekly chart, make it a little bit clearer for you to see. But it's the bottom of the profile that is being tested as we speak. Now, it's a weekly profile. And so it's really going to be dependent upon where Friday closes. But right now, Peter, price is trading into potential support. 157.25. We're at 157.28. If price closes below 157.25, and the top of the monthly profile is 157.26, then that's going to suggest we could see a run back to the 150.26 to 153.05 level. So right now, price is sitting at support. Let's pull over the white background charts. Let's see if there's any other information that we can glean here to provide to Peter. So Peter was asking about TD9 counts and so forth. And today is going to be the bar following bar number 9 on the daily time frame. So we have price sitting at support on the weekly basis while the daily is forming a TD9 count bottom. So there's potential that a bottom is in. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart, as far as TD9 count signals, we've got nothing. The only thing that we do have is prices trading into the swing point that was formed back in October. And so let me do this here. Let me get off of this chart. It's going to be easier to show this on the weekly chart out here. That was the weekly we were looking at. So let me just, didn't mean to do that. I actually meant to do this. There we go. So now what I suppose you would really need for a confirmation that this is a bottom would be a rejection of that swing point. And that swing point rejection would be a close back above 158.25. That is the high from the swing point from October the 11th. If you got that, then that's a signal of a bottom out here. Right now, price is sitting at support on the weekly time frame. And yeah, that's really about all that I've got. Can do your analysis, the TD9 counts, etc. So we did that. We did that on the daily and the weekly. Yeah, I don't have on a 30-minute chart. Let me just check out a 30-minute chart and see what type of signal, if anything, we have here. So the 30-minute chart negated its TD9 count bottom, and it did it at 1:30, so 15 minutes ago. So, not really what you like to see when price is sitting at support on a larger time frame, such as the weekly. Then you've got a daily TD9 count. We don't have any kind of bottom signal at a 30 minutes. So it says that maybe these support levels are not going to hold out here. So, Peter, I hope that helps you out with regard to the 30-year Treasury. If you're asking me, do I see a reason to buy the 30-year Treasury, the answer is I do not. So thanks so much for that question. Next question looks like we don't have any additional questions out there. So what do we want to go take a look at? I would imagine we want to take a look at, nobody's asked yet, but I'm sure somebody's going to, which is Steve-O. What's going on with Goldilocks out here? So as we take a look at gold, it's pretty interesting. So gold actually has negated its TD9 count pattern. You don't see that on this chart here. You just have to believe me. You don't have to believe me, but I'm asking you to believe me that December 28th was a TD9 count top. Price closed above that on Friday. When you take out that, that's typically pretty good. It suggests we move higher. Prices pulled back today to test a little rising trend line and the top of that daily profile. The daily profile is 1802.20. We're trading at 1801.80, so 40 cents away from it. So right now, today has been nothing more than a pullback to support. On a weekly basis, we talked about this on Friday, price really needed to close above the top of that weekly profile, which is 1828.50. Friday's actual close was 1828.60. So yeah, did it by 10 cents, but that's not enough to float my skirt up, nor is it enough to float your skirt up. And so what we've got right now, it looks like a good old-fashioned consolidation. That's if gold does not hold 1802.20, we could see price pull all the way back to 1761.40. We've got a caller on the line. It's Brent in Martinez, California. Brent, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you?
I'm doing great, Steve. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. I see you're calling about gold, so kind of timely with regard to the discussion. So I'm assuming you heard what we just talked about on the daily and the weekly charts. What additional information can I provide to you?
I was hoping you could go down to the shorter term time frame charts and see if there is some kind of a indicator that there is potentially a bottom, or is this still more downside to it?
Sure. Okay. Excellent question. So let's pull over the intraday time frame chart. So we've got our 8-panel charts out here. In the upper right-hand corner is the 30-minute chart. And on the upper right-hand panel, we've got a TD9 count bottom. So let me just expand this chart out. Let me pull this back. And we can see that the bottom took place on the bar following bar number 9, also wave number 7. And that was at 11:30 this morning. So that low is 1798.20. As long as price does not close below that, Brent, we have a 30-minute bottom. We have a bullish structured profile that is formed on the 30-minute chart. It did that just we came into the 1:30 time frame, so about 18 minutes ago. If price can close above 1802.50, maybe 1802.70, then we should see a run to 1805.90. So on the 30-minute time frame chart, we have a valid TD9 count bottom. Any questions about this chart?
No, thank you. That's good, Steve.
Perfect. I don't have a bottom signal per se on the 60-minute, at least not a TD9 count, but there is a valid by the D point pattern that is attempting to form as we speak right now. If, in fact, we get that bullish engulfing candle 12 minutes from now, which looks like we will, this would suggest to move up to 1811.70. So you got a 30-minute bottom and a 60-minute bottom that will be confirmed. The 120-minute time frame chart, price is pulled back to a second level of breakout support, 1799.10. Although it's not a bottom pattern, it can be a bottoming signal pulling back to support. The 240-minute chart had a TD9 count top, 1799.10 was its breakout support. Price is pulled back and held that. And the 5-hour time frame chart's not really helping us out here. So we can say that of the intraday, the 5 intraday time period charts that we have, 4 of them show bottoming potential. So the first level that needs to fail is that 1805 area. That's that oscillator and change line on the 30-minute time frame, 1803 maybe. And if pricing goes above 1805, we should see a further rally higher. So, Brent, with that information in hand, what are you going to do?
That was excellent. I've been kind of, close to my finger being on the button of trying something on the long side. So that's helpful. I'm going to keep watching it and no, I think I might actually try something here. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That's what I was hoping to see. And you, as always, kind of took care of it for me. So I appreciate that.
Well, that's perfect, Brent. Hey, thanks so much for calling. Nice way to kick off 2022 out there. Of course, folks, I would love to hear from you as well. So happy New Year, Brent, and we'll look forward to speaking to you again in the near future. So back to Goldilocks out there. Yeah, it does look for sure like there is at least a short-term bottom out here. Now what we have to see are key levels of resistance begin to fail. So that was a very timely call as we moved right into Goldilocks. So, folks, we're going to a hard break out here. Not that there's a whole big difference between a hard break and a soft break, but we're going to a break. We come back, we've got a 2-minute wrap up. I'll try to see if there's anything worth noting for you. We'll be right back.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. So I really couldn't locate anything of significance to chat with you about. So we'll just go back to the Apple charts out here. So as we take a look at Apple, we'd only looked at the daily. But on the daily chart here, the white background chart, you can see the TD9 count top. You can see this even has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out here. But again, if price is able to close above the November 26 high, and that's at the 182.13 level or 182.53, those patterns will get negated. There's also Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal that's still triggered, and it would need, oh, you don't see the chart. Sorry about that. Sorry. Start sharing. There we go. Okay, so now you can see the daily time frame chart out there. So if price takes out to the high from November 22nd, we'd be looking for another bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. The weekly's got the same pattern: a TD9 count, a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. But of course, this is a weekly close that needs to take place above that candle from December the 17th. That high again, 182.13. The monthly chart, as we take a look at Apple, this is now forming bar number 8 of a TD9 count. We know the tops can form on bars 8, 9 to the bar following 9. So that little spike high today, in the case of Apple, actually setting up a monthly potential topping signal. I also have wave number 7 that is in place out here. And on a yearly basis, we've got a TD9 count top as well. This year, 2022, would be the bar following bar number 9. But in the case of Apple, one of the strong stocks for us to monitor. You've got topping signals on the daily and weekly. They're being threatened right now today. You've got topping signal on the potential topping signal on the monthly and on the yearly basis out there. So 2022 is going to be a fun year, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you're looking forward to it as well. Of course, we've got some really great programming here today. Your favorite polar bear, I believe he is back today. Tom O'Brien will take us on home from 3 to 4. I'll have a little segment with Tom, one that I think you'll probably want to watch and listen to. So have a magnificent Monday, folks. Great way to start off 2022. And I'll see you. Oh, hey, tomorrow morning, I'm doing the show from 8 to 9 a.m. So please tune in early. Take care, folks.